The dream was to own a sneaker store, but I didn't have enough money or enough connects to get like accounts from all these international brands. So I was like, okay, good starting point is my friends. And at that time I knew Style Gang with the dashiki t-shirts, Creative Beings and Babatunde, and I modeled for him. So I was like, yo, bring your stuff, let me sell it and see how it happens. Went online, WordPress, bought a domain, bought a template, and I was like, shifted things around. Kind of looked like an online store, except it didn't have like a e-commerce function. So what I did is like, the comment section, just change the subject up. It's like order, size. And it looked like, so you could order. So the first 6 months, that's how it looked. And that was an online store. And a lot of people didn't know what an online store is, so I could get away with it. So after the first, I think 8 months, then I switched it up, got a proper e-commerce site and everything. That's how it started.
You know how we always talk about gatekeepers, outside of spaces like the internet. Did you feel that the internet was a space where there was less of that and you could do whatever you wanted to, how you wanted to do it, and there was no one that's going to be on some, now you first have to go through route A, B, and C first in order for you to say that you qualify to have something that is called an online store?
I mean, there's always gatekeepers. The only thing that makes them gatekeepers is two things. If you listen to them, secondly, if you play within their space, within their framework. I was young, I was naive, I just wanted to do cool shit, that's it. So I wasn't even concerned about that. Secondly, is the fact that I wasn't even distributing a product that you could find anywhere else. So I was finding a solution to an actual problem. And that's the problem that my friends had with distributing. They were popular in different parts of SA, but they could only distribute within their immediate geography. So I could come up with a solution, and I mean, there wasn't a better solution at that point to reference from. So no one could really judge or criticize what we were doing at that time. So, I mean, I think the bottom line is that gatekeepers only apply when you try to appeal towards that. And right now, where there's an opportunity for us to contribute and solve genuine problems that our friends have, there's not much reference points, right? And if there is, there's always an alternative model.
Like, what's your criteria for getting people to stock their stuff in your store?
It's very simple. I mean, everything we have in store is local. It's local streetwear because streetwear is accessible. Initially, streetwear is founded upon democratizing art. It's like these were kids who did cool stuff, graphics and whatnot, and could not put their work in galleries. So what they did is like put it on a t-shirt, sell it to hundreds of your friends. And what do you know? Now we have this piece by Creative Beings that has a Basquiat artwork on it and a Basquiat coat. Jay-Z has that, bought it for millions. I have a jacket and I bought it for 800. That's how you democratize things, you know what I mean? But not to digress. That's the reason why we concentrate mainly on streetwear, but we're not limited to that. So it just follows that even our criteria of getting brands in should be aligned with that informal element. And it's a simple 2 processes. If you're around Joburg, you just bring your samples to the store. I'll take it from there. If you're not, you just have to email like info@rhccstore.com, email your product images and short brand bio. That's it, we'll take it from there. You know, we get a lot of those, so it gets tougher now, like, because the standards are a bit higher.
Yeah.
You know, but what this just tells me is that there are so many people who want to compete. We need more structures like these. So we plan on like having a few of these stores around the country, so that if it's in KZN, 70% of the brands are from KZN that are stocked there. So it just makes sense for us to go about it that way.
Okay. And I know you guys do tours a lot, or you've done tours.
Yeah.
There's been one recently. How does that come about?
Okay, cool. The tour is just a natural progression of what we started. So everything started at RHTC, right? We're at markets, and over time I just disliked trestle tables. It's lazy. It's a lazy way of presenting, especially if a good product, you know. We went on tour in 2015 with Sansa, and a lot of people were more attracted to the store than the product and the spaces we were at. So we took a mental note of that, went back to computer, and like, let's start a business that does that. We offer multifunctional and mobile-friendly furniture to local entrepreneurs who want access to market and want to have like a decent display unit when they retail. And we started it, so that we decided to call that company The Playground. I think it's just over a year old now. Hence the store called RHTC Playground Store, because we display local brands and that furniture, and we sell that too in store in a way that makes sense by using the actual furniture. Then the tour element was called the Let's Play Outside Tour in 2015. But it's just something that sounds right, you know, like popping out outside, like, yeah. Then we did a couple of workshops called Let's Play Outside and an advert called Let's Play Outside. But there was something within this word, Let's Play Outside, you know, and that we took seriously. And now we positioned it as a brand that's based on collaboration and travel. So what happens is that creative entrepreneurs within 4 elements, like music, local brands, social sports being Iwan Kusha, that's our social sports, you know what I mean? And visual arts coming together every season and touring the country together in a financially feasible way. We did it for 2,000 rands for 4 days last December, and we get to spaces, we collaborate with other event organizers, and we have a high impact presence there. And this solves 2 problems. You get to meet other artists that are doing the same thing as you, so you learn from each other. And most importantly, you get to open yourself up to a wider market by communicating with consumers from different places.
I'm finding that a lot of the articles that I'm reading, especially after Migos came out with culture, like the word culture was like populated. It was almost everywhere. And we've always known that this thing exists, man, you know? Yeah, we're doing it for the culture. But what does it mean? Like, what is the culture?
It's like a culture is pretty much how a certain group of people choose to live. So they have certain principles, certain ways of doing things that works for them, and, you know, constitutes a progressive lifestyle. And culture changes over time because conditions around you change. So now we're in Joburg, this unpredictable space, weird as conditions that change every single day. That means you have to come up with a hybrid culture because, you know, we're sitting with closer, your vendor, right? And there's so many other elements that come into it. So many identities. So it's like, then it's like street culture. It's open to interpretation. But what that offers is like people like me who would be deemed uncultured or don't fit into a certain mold, now go into the space where we have common principles and we're from different geographies, but we all believe in this thing called street culture, walking in these concrete streets, painting on these walls. It's set on rebellion, but it's set on pushing the barriers. They say, you can't come in this door, and we're like, fuck that, back door, we're in now, making more money, you know what I mean? So that's what it's based on. And what it offers us is like young black people is to set out new models. It's simple, you don't have to go to school and get a job anymore. Go to school, find a new model, make money with your friends. That's what we represent. That's street culture. No longer take instructions from Europe or America. To me, street culture offers that liberty, and it's based on a realistic African identity, conditions, and how to respond to it. But most importantly, it's not about fighting against something. It's to contribute to the innovation.